Scarefest 2019. We're not doing a full vlog today, we're just going to do a little review of everything that's on offer with Scarefest. So that's the Alton Ancestors and all the mazes that we're going to be doing shortly.
Oh, what's happening? Wait, is your chest going? No. Please stop my hand. Please, oh, Steve, you made it go into my leg.
The first maze that we've done here at Alton Towers Scarefest was the brand new for 2019, the Darkest Depths. Now, I was told by Mark that this was going to be a family maze. Well, unfortunately we couldn't film in it. You can't do that at Alton Towers, you can't film in the mazes. However, what I can tell you is it's like every other maze that you will have seen Mark in so far this year. He was jumping all over the place. Now, it's got to be said, Merlin Entertainment have done an excellent job on the set pieces throughout that maze. The acting was spot on as well, and it's a great start to Scarefest 2019 for all of us. Let's go to Mark, because you even jumped on the first scene.
In the pre-show.
You were in the pre-show and you jumped.
I know. She scared me though. She was a good actor.
Yeah.
She was a good actor, but like I say, the set pieces no were excellent. They literally have gone to town, and it just felt like you was going under the sea. Yeah. And obviously then he said the boat was coming down and the flooring. Brilliant maze, absolutely brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
And there was sand as well and water leaking in. It was, it felt like you were on a boat.
It was a proper story throughout the entire bit going down. Absolutely, it just literally was a stunning maze.
And you were very scared.
That's standard though, isn't it? But to be honest with you, I wouldn't expect it to be that jumpy. When you read it looked as though it was going to be a family maze, but it was like, they must have seen that it was a group of adults going through and thought, you know what, we'll go to town on these. And they did.
It's PBE, let's ramp it up.
Yeah, exactly.
So also I've got Chris here.
Yeah,
what did you think of that?
Fantastic, I agree with everything Mark said. The story followed really well, but also the detail. The attention to detail in that was fabulous. I thought it was brilliant. Like you just said, the sand, the actors as well, they got really involved. Didn't seem too many actors, but there was just enough for enough jump scares for the length of the maze. But all in all, better than expected. I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be quite tame, family orientated, but it certainly wasn't. Definitely spot on for a maze here at Alton Towers.
Totally agree. Oh, let's swivel round past the bin. What did you think of that, Gemma?
Oh, it's brilliant. Mark turned around saying it's going to be a family maze. Like, it is a family maze, but if you're Mark, you just get scared.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything at all. No, it's brilliant. I can't really touch on more than they've said. The sets were fantastic, the actors were great. They've really gone to a lot of effort on it.
And like me, you thought we'd ended up in the Sea Life Centre at one point. It did seem like it.
Very much so, seemed like the Sea Life Centre, but it's obviously a complete opposite end of the park. So
yeah.
Definitely not.
Let's ask Jimmy once he's finished cleaning his glasses. Go and get them on, Jim. How was it for you?
Probably not the scariest maze I'll do, but it was alright. It was very funny seeing Mark jump at the start, and Gemma got caught a few times. That was quite fun.
Did you do any jumping in there, or were you alright?
Not really, but I'm sure the next few mazes probably will get me.
Well, we're hoping that you end up doing subspecies on your own, because it's normally me or Mark that ends up doing it on our own.
I've never done a solo run, so let's see.
Let's see. Next up, we're going to be doing the Attic, another new maze here at Alton Towers for 2019. So we'll go in now, see how it's doing, and we'll let you know what we see in there. We've just done maze number 2, the Attic, the second new maze here at Alton Towers for 2019. Right, I'm going to be honest here. I thought it's just going to be Terror of the Towers rehashed. A couple of different routes, same actors, same story, different name. No, nothing like it. I don't know who's been designing these mazes at Alton Towers this year, but they're messed up. They're actually really good so far. Darkest Depths was really good, but that was another level. That was full on, straight from the off. Very dark, very tight, lots of flashing lights in there, lots of actors in there, lots of very, very good actors. A really good story too. The story was excellent for it. It wasn't like a, oh, here we go again, we've heard this story before. It was really good. It's something different. And I would really recommend coming to Alton Towers Scarefest based off them 2 mazes already. Let's start by hearing from Chris.
Okay.
You were behind me in that one.
I was.
You saw my jumping.
I did, and I jumped plenty enough. A lot of things for that maze has really impressed me. One, we've lost the hands on shoulders thing.
Yes.
Like, free to go around. This makes a huge difference to any maze. They've upped the game. It is, like you say, it's not Terror of the Towers. It's just a totally refreshed, new idea. Love how it builds everything up of going up the stairs.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about that actually when we were walking up the stairs. It builds the atmosphere, and then it starts obviously when you go upstairs. Loads of actors, loads of jump scares, the touching of your legs and things like that. It really adds to it. That is fantastic, and probably up to now one of the best mazes Towers has put on for a number of years.
I agree.
Yeah, I really like that. Very impressed. And as you say, agree. Them 2 mazes alone make Scarefest worthwhile coming this year. Totally agree. Mark, I bet you're glad you didn't lead in that one.
I'm so glad I didn't lead in that. If you're jumping, I'd have been on the floor or something like that. But it was just incredible, the lighting that they put on to spotlight some of the set pieces that they have in there were absolutely incredible, and it built this kind of atmosphere that when you obviously went into dark areas that the actors would then pop out of everywhere. Absolutely superb. That really enjoyed it. And then even getting towards the end where you're getting down towards like the devil or the demon, the heat in there as well, they pointed up as though he was like in a furnace area. Spot on, brilliant, loved it.
Jimmy, you came out shaking your head. Were you nervous?
I was, especially going up the stairs, and I got lost.
Yeah, you got split
right
off.
and then left. And yeah, it's really good. A few more
Excellent.
scares than the last maze.
Excellent.
Overall good maze.
Gemma says, never again at the back.
Yeah, never again at the back. Jimmy got lost, which meant I got lost, so we got completely split up from everybody else. The acting is amazing, and the storyline behind that is absolutely top notch.
Yeah.
Could not recommend it more.
We've just done Project 42. Very good sets in there, not lots of jump scares, but it was decent. Although Gemma would totally disagree about the jump scares.
Massively disagree. I was at the front and every single person attacked me. Everyone. It was good. It was very good, but there was a big flange.
Big
flange.
Big flange, and Jimmy got the jump scare at the end of the flange. How was that for you?
Never done it. And as soon as I came through it, some guy just totally dumped me, and then I got lost.
What do you think?
It's alright, to be honest with you. It's improved or changed slightly from last year.
Yeah.
Felt a bit darker than it was last year, so more actors could hide. Got some good jump scares, all you could ever want from a maze.
Good stuff. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, good maze, good sets. Could have done with a few more jump scares for me. I didn't think it was as intense as the other 2, but still, good maze, short and sweet, enjoyed it.
Excellent. On to subspecies, and you're bricking it.
I'm bricking it, but Jimmy's leading the
Jimmy's leading in subspecies. He says he'll be fine though. I reckon you're going to get dragged off on your own again.
I reckon I will. They'll look at Jimmy, look at me, and then go, right, he's having it.
Yeah. Okay, we've just done subspecies, and well, we have 3 people here who got quite violated all the way through. I did as well. I'll talk about that shortly. But Mark, you want to talk about an incident with you and Stuz first, so I'll just get Gemma out of shot for this while you demonstrate maybe.
So everybody knows that watch these videos that I'm terrified in mazes. You know, I'm not the best shield. Well, my friend Stuz here,
who keeps disappearing off shot.
Also tries to disappear away from actors as well, because at one point an actor came up behind him and wanted to drag him off on his own, and he was literally like, no! And he's going, God, I'm with him. And he literally then grabbed onto me all the way around. So there you go, Stuz.
Yeah. Not as scary as you were expecting then for you, Mark, if you're the human shield?
No, I'm still terrified in there, mate. I was hiding in somebody else's jacket as well. But it's a different maze when you're with a group of people compared to when you're on your own. When I did it last year on my own, I was terrified. Whereas this one wasn't as bad because you're in a group and you can sort of like
speak for yourself.
Take comfort on your own. But it's still the best maze here for me.
And just to check, we were asked yesterday on Twitter by Mark Garrison if you need a heart rate monitor or anything after all these mazes. Are you okay? Yeah, we don't need to send you off to see the nurses or anything, do we, for a check-up?
No, but my watch keeps beeping every time I'm going through mazes saying I've got a high heart rate, so I'm all right now while I'm outside. But when I'm inside, it starts thinking I'm like in trouble. So
good stuff, Stuz. Yes. We've been doing that one now for what, 4 years? It doesn't get any easier, does it?
Not really. It's still my favourite maze of the lot, yeah.
Yeah.
I've yet to do the attic yet, so we'll see what that brings. But so far, the 4 I've done, that's still my favourite.
Excellent.
As of past years as well, it's always been my favourite.
Gemma, we kept getting separated from the group.
We kept getting separated an awful lot. There was me and you together, then there was me and Jack together, me and Jimmy together, and then I ended up on my own.
All good.
Completely abused. Well and truly abused, and then the chainsaw at the end, it's not changed and it's still as horrible as ever.
Jack, how was that for you? You were pretty nervous going in.
Yeah, well, I did get hit last year for the first time, a couple of times. I didn't ever have that good run throughs last year, but this year, oh my god, I literally was on my own for the most of it, and there's a bit in the dark, and you can't see where you're going, and oh no, I just lost my. I was just screaming to get out of the whole thing.
Jimmy, I don't think you've done it before, or have you done it before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, but you were sent off on your own this time. How was that for you?
I was nervous, but it was okay.
It's okay.
Got dragged off a few times, and I did end up bumping into you and then Gemma.
I think you should do Brave It alone.
Yeah, it might be different.
You go through on your own, see how you get on there. Yeah, right, let's ask Chris as well, who's back around here. Hello.
Hello.
How was that for you?
Really good, enjoyed it. Started off with Jack, then got separated up pretty early. I was just following Jack screaming, so I found my way around, that was easy. But following a theme of people holding things, there was a woman behind me who actually asked if she could hold on to me, and then she got dragged away, so yeah. But no, fantastic maze, still as good as it always has been. Thoroughly enjoyed that one.
Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I was put against the door and sent through on my own as well, just like Jimmy was, and then somehow me and Jimmy ended up bumping into each other after pretty much straight away, and then I thought, yes, that's all good now, I'm not going to be on my own. And then I got separated again. And then again, and then again, and then again. So if any of the actors are watching, big thank you for making that as scary as it's probably been since 2015, because last couple of years it's been scary, but not as scary as that. Not when you do it on your own. In all that darkness, it's absolutely mental. So we've got one more to do now, which is the Altonville Mine Tours. So we'll go and do that one. We've just done the Altonville Mine Tours. As always, very good sets, a couple of jump scares, very dark, lots of flashing lights. Thankfully I didn't have to wear the helmet, but Chris did. How was that for you?
It was really good, enjoyed it. It's always been a good maze for me, this, I've enjoyed it every year I've done it. The actor at the start, very good, shout out to him, the way he set it all up before we actually went in, I thought he was brilliant. Yeah, I got loads and loads of jump scares, lots of touching my legs. I didn't expect a half-naked bloke to rub my face. That's an experience that maybe I don't want to happen again. But no, very, very good maze. Really strong, I like that, solid maze for the park. I hope it continues to stay here as well.
Excellent. What do you think, Gemma?
That was good. I like that one. I've
Lots
always
of
liked
scares.
that. Lots of scares, and the makeup on them is amazing. But yeah, the naked man was certainly a surprise.
Yeah. Mark had some naked man treatment as well.
Naked man treatment, rubbing my face and everything. And didn't expect that, and it literally just appeared in front of my face. So obviously I jumped a little bit. But other than that, it's like the rest of the maze I thought was really good. Some really good jump scares, and like lots of touching of your ears and things like that out of nowhere. And even Jimmy was jumping a bit in it as well, so it must have been good.
Let's go to Jimmy then. Come on, what was that like for you?
Really good, a lot of scares, a lot of touching, and the light, because obviously the light on the hat keeps going off, so I literally banged into Mark, so just couldn't see.
I think you made Mark jump at one point.
Yeah, I certainly jumped.
Yeah.
But a lot of touching, everything really, really good.
Before we do our final reviews of Alton Towers Scarefest 2019, I just thought it's worth mentioning that you can get Alton Towers Scarefest merchandise at this time of the year as well. So you've got the bobble hats in green and black, and you've also got hoodies in the same colour. So the hoodies are £33 before annual pass discount, and the hat is a tenner. But also it's worth mentioning it does have the year on as well. They also have t-shirts as well, which we'll go and have a look at shortly. So we've got here the Altonville Mine Tours, and is that for Darky Steps? Yeah, have they got anything on the back? There we go. So there's a couple of t-shirts for those mazes. And moving on to the next model, we have Chris with the Attic t-shirt. Anything on the back? Cool. So it's good how they do these, and then subspecies as well. So the logo on the front's quite small, and then on the back it's quite big. How much are those?
They are £20.
£20. Though of course you will get annual pass discount if you have an annual pass, or if you have an Alton Towers season pass. There's also Bear In Scarefest bag, which is a tenner. And you've also got the black spiders too, which are £15. It's time for us to do a wrap up of all the Scarefest mazes and everything that's on offer. Stuz is very eager to get in shot, so what's your assessment on the Scarefest offering in terms of all the mazes, and could they do anything more?
Yeah, the mazes were excellent as usual. I really enjoyed them. We're still missing some scare zones. I used to enjoy them a lot, like the freak show and the it's got zombie scare zone. Yeah, it'd be great if they could bring them back. But
highlights?
Yeah, well, obviously the maze. I love subspecies. I really enjoyed the attic as well. But I enjoyed all 5 mazes, don't get me wrong, but those were the 2 best ones.
Yeah, and would you recommend people to come and give them a go?
Absolutely, definitely, yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Mark's going to drift into shot now. So you've given your reviews of the mazes. What's your overall assessment of Scarefest so far?
I've really enjoyed Scarefest. The mazes are fantastic, like I've said. Absolutely superb. They set the bar really, really high for them. I echo what Stuz says. The only thing that's lacking now is the scare zones. Need the freak show. Need the apocalypse one that was by Nemesis with a chainsaw. And maybe even bring the one back that was underneath Rita's lawn.
Nox in Furnace.
Yeah. You're just lacking that little bit of those, and it will be a great, absolutely superb event. Not just a great event, it'd be superb if those came back. But they've gone in the right way with the attic. The attic this year has been fantastic with the set pieces, the lighting, the acting in that, and all the rest of the solid attractions as well.
Would you recommend people to give it a go?
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's say the mazes really are superb.
Excellent. Chris, do you mind drifting in shot? This is like the Untamed reviews again.
I'm walking in and out.
Yeah, what's been your highlights for today at Scarefest?
Highlights, probably the 2 new mazes, Darkest Depths and Attic. Darkest Depths was a big surprise, didn't expect that, so that was a nice surprise. And Attic, set's done fantastically, actors are brilliant, all round, every maze is good, but them 2, I really do think they've upped the game on them. I enjoyed them. Low light, I've heard Mark just saying then about the scare zones, but it's just the kind of atmosphere linking from each section of the park. Like here, there's like scary music playing, you've got the pumpkins, then it just kind of plateaus out a bit until you get up to the mazes. Just needs that adding again, and it'd be absolutely perfect. Just need to work on that for next year, and I think they've got it spot on. But great event, definitely recommend it. Come and try it out.
Totally agree. Anyone else want to give a review? Gemma? Jack staying right now.
I'm avoiding.
Yeah, fair enough. So Gemma, what have your highlights been?
For me, some species in the attic. They've massively upped their game on some species, and the attic as a new maze is absolutely fantastic. As Chris and Mark were saying, the sets are fantastic, and the actors were brilliant. They went above and beyond. But I totally agree with Mark and Chris. They need more around the areas, because there's nothing about the entrance. There's not a lot anywhere else.
Got to say, Scarefest definitely better than last year. Want to echo what everyone else has said. I'll start with the negatives because there's plenty of positives to go into after it. It doesn't feel like Scarefest after Towers Street. Towers Street is Scarefest, and then it's just Alton Towers on any other day of the season except for the mazes. Atmosphere might change as it gets darker, but it's not Scarefest after Towers Street. It is all in this area, especially when you've got the Alton ancestors as well. They need scare zones. They really need scare zones. It just doesn't feel like a Halloween event otherwise. It's basically like going to Pleasure Beach and doing Passage del Terror and having some bunting and pumpkins around them. They just need a bit more to turn it into old school Scarefest. It's good. They've made a step in the right direction. The new mazes and the old mazes are all really good, but they just need to get back to what Scarefest was when it started, and that is roaming actors. The Haunted Hollow, that was amazing when Scarefest started. You had the Gravedigger, you had actors all over the place, you had smoke effects, mist. I know it's not dark yet, but we've done all the mazes already, so we might as well review Scarefest, because there's not like there's going to be 25, 30 actors all of a sudden appear as roaming actors at this point. So I think as an event, it can definitely improve, and I do think that's where it's weak. There's not enough going on outside of Tower Street and the mazes. However, the maze is fantastic. Darkest Depths, I expected it to be family friendly. It wasn't. That's an adult maze. I would not like to take a small child through that. That was terrifying. Now, if Charlie was a bit older, say 5 or 6, there's no way to be going, come on son, come and do the Darkest Depths, because it'd be terrifying for him. The attic I led, and the demon, or whatever it is at the end, got me multiple times. I'm sure he had us walking around in squares as well. We just seemed to be passing the same wall over and over and over again. But that was fantastic. The story from the off, the guy who introduced us to the maze and did the pre-show, he was excellent. He was a really, really good actor. How he remembers that 2-minute sequence of where he's got to keep all them words and everything in time, and he's a perfect actor for that role. He did so well. But all of the cast in every maze has been fantastic. Subspecies is still messed up, still horrific, which is why you need to come and do it. But overall, I totally recommend Alton Towers Scarefest. If you're giving it some, no, I don't know, am I going to go, am I not going to go, get here, give it a go, ride the coasters in the dark as well, you'll love it. So that's all from me. Thanks for watching another Halloween themed video here on Pleasure Beach Experience, and we'll see you in the next Pleasure Beach Experience video.